Ryan Garcia pranked or trolled the world when it came to his boxing match against Devin Haney. This trolling by Ryan Garcia, while successful to him, is drawing a bunch of mixed reactions, and that is mainly due to the content behind the trolling. Now look, we don't need the boxer Ryan Garcia to prove to us that the Grove exists. We already know that the Grove exists in California. I can't even call the Grove by its actual name or I'll be fact-checked by YouTube. We have seen the photos and the videos of this weird occultic ritualistic behavior by people of power in front of their God Owl statue. We also know that the trafficking and the abuse of children is no secret. If you have not known about the so-called elite's abuse of children years before, you definitely knew about it when information came out about Jeffrey's Island. So we know that these things take place in this world, these very evil things. So when Ryan Garcia came out, this very famous boxer, and stated that these were his own personal experiences, that he was taken to the Grove, tied up to trees, held down, and he watched these people of power have their way with children, many people believed him. Because once again, these things do go on in this world. He became more believable, not just with the things he was saying, but how he was saying it as well. How he looked. He looked like he was very scared most of the times he was on camera. With people believing what he saw take place at the Grove and his interactions with the so-called elite, there were other people that thought that, well, he was not mentally prepared with his fight with Devin Haney, that he knew he was going to lose this fight and this was his way to explain why he lost. So the bets were heavily in favor of Devin Haney, and guess what? Ryan Garcia bet on himself, and he won because he knew he was trolling, or was he? That is the question most people have when it comes to everything Ryan Garcia was saying prior to this boxing match with Devin Haney. Did the powers that be get to him, silence him, and tell him in order to keep your fame, in order to keep going, you have to say everything was a prank? Or, like some people are saying, with this trolling, he still had good intentions. He had casted a much needed spotlight on the Grove and places like the Grove and trafficking, that people start to research, people start to look into it a little bit deeper when he started to come out with these tweets and these videos about his experiences and what he saw. But there are other people that believe that he went way too far, that he joked about child abuse, and that he used child abuse to promote his fight, as opposed to bringing attention to the real evils of this world. That this hurts and discredits other people who actually had these experiences at the Grove and at other places, and when they do come and speak out, it'll look like these people are promoting something as well. That these people that are speaking out are just trying to get clout and fame. This all comes after Ryan Garcia had an interview with PBD Podcast, and the title of this video happens to be Troll the Entire World, Ryan Garcia's shocking truth about pre-fight conspiracy. Even before you watch the video, you can see some of the top comments stating, so he joked about child SA, and that's okay. Lying to promote your fight, then talking about the Holy Spirit. Something is off. One thing worse than a thief is a liar. Thief is after your stuff. Liars are after your reality. That's actually a really good saying. I like that saying a lot. And then right below that person's comment, another person commented, "This is why everyone needs to disconnect." Another popular comment is that he wasn't lying, he stepped out of line, and they showed him what power they have over him, and he's back in line again. Well, at the start of this interview, host Patrick Bet David tells Ryan Garcia, "Well, you troll the entire world with this fight," and then he proceeds to ask him what part of this was real and what part of this was fake. So what I'm going to go ahead and do from here is I'm going to go ahead and play this part of the interview. I'm not going to interrupt. I hate being that type of YouTuber that pauses every time something is said in the interview. So I'm going to go ahead and let the whole video play out, and I'm going to go ahead and give my take at the end.
You trolled the entire world with the fight. So was this all an act? What part of it was real? Tell us about it.
I mean, my cameraman Chance, Ajay's there. Hey, we have it pre-recorded months ago. What did I say was going to happen? I said, I'm about to make sure everybody thinks I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Watch, it's going to be called The Great Escape. Like, I have it all documented. I was already planning it, weeks and weeks and months behind. I don't know what made me come up with the idea. Honestly, I just one day just decided just to go all in and just commit to a plan that I had, and I was not going to budge for nobody. It didn't matter if I went on his podcast, anybody's podcast. I was acting like sporadic, like just like crazy. I would go on
Your mannerisms, you were just like
spaces. I'd be like, I'll do this with my nose. And they're like, it's just a tick. I had everything like I just like, but then you make adjustments too. What was real though is at times I did drink a little bit during camp because I like to drink.
Yeah. So we got a lot of different things I want to ask you about. A lot of different questions, a lot of different topics. And what's so funny is we just had you on the podcast 2.5 months ago, and a lot's happened obviously in 2.5 months. So, you ever seen the movie Primal Fear? You guys ever seen Primal Fear or no? You've never seen Primal Fear with Edward Norton. Who here has seen?
I like Edward Norton.
Edward Norton's a sick guy. He's one of the best.
Primal Fear. It's a movie where Edward Norton plays two personalities, and he fools everybody. And at the end of the movie, he claps for Richard Gere. Okay, do you feel like you fooled everybody with this whole thing? So, and if yes, you think you can do that twice? Because the second time around, people are gonna be. You can only do that one time. You can't do it twice.
No, you can't.
You think you can?
No, for sure. I just gotta let me cook. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'll go into like the super disciplined narrative, or maybe I just act even crazier. Maybe I take it to a step too far. You know, maybe, or maybe I make it look like it's a step too far. Who knows? We never know.
You ever read 40 Laws of Power?
Yeah.
You ever read Art of Seduction? 33 Strategies of War? Did you speak to Jake Paul? Did you talk to Connor before? Did you watch something that inspired you to want to, change your approach of marketing for a fight? What got you to say, I'm going to take a completely different approach with marketing this fight?
Well, it was just basically, it kept on unraveling itself. If I'm being quite honest, it was more of a, it wasn't so much like my ideas, like more of just wisdom coming from God, and then I just made adjustments as I went. Like, I would have these strong, I guess, feelings or just urges, like nicks from the Holy Spirit to do this, do that, do this, do that. And then like God always cleaned up everything that I was doing. Because I felt like on the one side, there was like, I had the enemy pushing me to do certain things, and then I had, God, and then it was just like, no matter what happened, God always made it right. So I would have to give all the credit to God and the wisdom of God and the Holy Spirit. For sure.
So I want to read this to you. Okay, some of the events on what happened. Okay, during the. This is a timeline here. Let's go through some of it. So Ryan Garcia starts beef with Jake Paul. Then Ryan Garcia discusses Bohemian Grove. Then Ryan Garcia slams Logan Paul's prime drink. Ryan Garcia accuses Victor Conte, Devin Haney of cheating. Then Ryan Garcia addresses prediction of Baltimore Bridge collapsing. Then Ryan Garcia tweets he will kill Devin Haney. Then Ryan Garcia, New York Boxing Commission evaluation, the whole mental thing that you said defamation, you're going to sue them. Then Ryan Garcia and Alicia Baumgardner beef. Then Garcia launches X-rated tirade at the New York Mets. Ryan Garcia cleared to fight by the New York Boxing Commission. Ryan Garcia touches base with influencer Andrew Tate. There's all these stories.
Yeah,
and every day it's something new that you were putting out there.
Yeah.
Okay. The part I want to know is which one of these are actual opinions that you have? How much of it was antics?
Well, ask me. Which one?
Okay, so go through it. So Bohemian Grove. You said you have a video that you saw.
Well, there's actually many stories on it, and there's actually a lot of people that have come forward to me, and there's actually really people in the front lines of all this. I'm in contact with them. His name is Jaco. I'm not going to say his last name, but basically, he's a big advocate. He goes to Congress all the time to speak about child sex trafficking, and he could confirm all these things. A lot of these things, I have experienced not only like spiritually in my spiritual senses. Before I even knew about the Bohemian Grove, he's a testament to it. I had a vision like in 2021. I seen like a beast coming out of San Francisco, and I seen the San Francisco Bridge, and then I seen like the woods, and I seen people doing really weird things. And I went up to my friend. I said, "Hey man, is there a place that people do weird things in the woods? I'm just curious." And he was like, "Well, what are you talking about, Bohemian Grove?" And I didn't know what it was, but that was 2021. So I've just been able to I'm very spiritually gifted, so I could see things before they happen because of God. And there's countless stories of that happening.
The kids. Did you actually have videos of kids? Things that
I actually do. I do have videos.
You have videos?
Yes, we have videos.
Who has seen them? Who have you shown them to?
The guy Jacob. He has them. We're gonna go to Congress with it.
Has anybody else here seen them? Have you guys seen the videos?
No, they have not seen.
You guys have never seen the videos. Okay, so you've not shown it to anybody else. It's just you and him that have.
Yeah.
Now, is it something you have access to or he has access?
We both.
You both have access to. Okay. Why haven't you shown it yet? If you have those videos?
I'm just not gonna put that on the internet. And then there's also other people that have videos and they're victims. But I'm not gonna put that on the internet. That's disgusting.
How high are some of these people? Is it because these guys are higher up, powerful people that you don't want to expose them?
Well, I mean, everything's in people's faces. You don't gotta look too far. You know what I mean? There's so many stories. I mean, this is not even a conspiracy at this point. You know, at the end of the day, all these things can be traced and documented. And for me to like show proof is just kind of funny because it's right in front of everybody's face. They painted in the illusion that it's a conspiracy, but it's not a conspiracy if there's proof.
So, as you can see, this interview has left a sour taste with a lot of people. But there are other people that knew that Ryan Garcia was trolling the whole time. He was making everything up. And like I said, there are other people that thought he put a spotlight to this. Good for him for allowing more people to open their eyes. Me personally, I have covered many people on this channel. People who have stated they saw something, they experienced something, they were caught on camera panicking over seeing something. And then, oddly, a week later, the whole story changes. They did not see anything. I have covered these people in great detail. So is Ryan Garcia another one of those individuals who cracked, who broke, and then they were readjusted? I can see if Ryan Garcia stated that he was abducted by aliens, abducted by the men in black, they tortured him, they probed him, it drove him crazy, he was being haunted and stalked by these shadow monsters, that's one thing. But to say that you were taken to the Grove against your own will, held down, and physically watched the so-called elite abuse children, that is a super risky move. To say you actually saw the abuse of children taking place and to use that to promote your fight, again, like I said, that is very risky. Too risky to just be trolling. And like everybody else I have covered, now he's coming out and stating that it was all a joke. It was all a prank. He never saw that. Now look, yes, he could have been trolling. He could have made this entire thing up. But like I said, given my own experiences, my own research, and the people I have covered similar stories to Ryan Garcia. Another boxer, Tom Cowling. He was sitting next to something that caused him to panic. He stood up. He couldn't get control of his emotions. He started to run. And these group of people tackled him. Next thing you know, he's missing for an entire year. There are absolutely no updates to this man's story, what he saw, nothing. Was he having a mental breakdown? Did he have too much to drink? Was he on drugs? Did he actually see something? And they're trying to cover it up. Again, we don't know because since that incident took place, it has never been spoken about again. An entire year goes by and this up and coming rising star in the boxing world has not been heard from. His name is not in any form of media whatsoever. All we know is that he was taken by Xandar police. He could not calm down in the police car. He could not calm down in the courtroom. From what we heard, what was rumored is that he was being beaten on. He was taken to a hospital, and that is the last thing we heard about Tom Cowling for an entire year. Then out of nowhere, after this man has disappeared, he is now the main attraction, the headliner of this boxing event. There's a person interviewing him. There's a person alongside Tom Cowling talking, and nobody mentions this incident on this plane or why he disappeared for an entire year. It's like whatever happened never happened, and he's not allowed to talk about it. So people being silenced, people changing their stories is indeed very real. Now, is this what happened with Ryan Garcia? We don't know. We do know that he's now saying everything was a prank, everything was trolling. He has now made a lot of money off this fight. Like I said, he bet on himself, and he made a lot of money on this fight as well. But we also know that if you continue to play the game of the elite, as long as you follow, you will have everything you want in this world and more. Now, while he does admit that everything that he personally experienced was made up, he does indeed have videotapes, he does indeed have evidence of children being abused. That he and another individual have seen these tapes, and he's going to take it to Congress. And I'm thinking to myself, what is Congress going to do? From what we understand anyway, Congress has the actual Jeffrey flight logs. Tim Burchett has stated that many of his colleagues have been compromised and they won't do anything about these actual logs. And they do have these flight logs. Nobody has been arrested or questioned about going to this island. So what good is bringing these videotapes to Congress when Congress has had the flight logs of this island and there's been no action? So at the end of the day, this is just a sad and evil world. But when it comes to Ryan Garcia, whether he is trolling or not, whether he's been compromised or not, and been forced to now state that everything was just a prank, we can never take off the table that people have indeed been silenced. MK Ultra and other experiments are indeed very real. These programs, these experiments are all there to manipulate the human mind. And when a person speaks out, when a person starts to break, they are then once again readjusted. But again, we really don't know. We truly don't know. But I do want to hear from you. I do want to know your thoughts when it comes to this whole Ryan Garcia boxing match and the aftermath. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.